situation.
Mhm.
But the one below the knees, they should have called that. But again, I mean, those refs were called, and what I didn't understand was is they called against who's our rookie offensive lineman.
Trey Smith, Creed
They called
Humphreys.
they called Trey Smith on a holding call in a pile of 300-pound guys, but yet they couldn't find in a wide open Travis Kelce, they couldn't see the hold on him when the guy was yanking on his chest plate twice, 2 different times.
And at this
So
point, man, I understand Kelsey and them are mad, but at this point,
I don't blame you.
they just, yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. If they're grabbing you, but it's something my father has always told me, and he probably is listening to the podcast right now. Well, he'll probably listen to it later, but he told me this: you have to always play above the rest.
I know.
If you put the game in the hands of the rest,
You're
they're
done.
gonna get you every single time. We have seen this year after year with the Chiefs. Andy wants to be conservative, and look what we have. Another game just like this. You can't do it, man. And I feel like that's one thing the Chiefs fans, they have never been pushing their foot on the gas. No, Chiefs players, it seems like in the comes to Andy, they're not pushing it on the gas pedal. They're not bearing teams. And you don't have to use every play in the book, but you don't. But there's a way. How do I say this? I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry, JP.
No, you're
But
fine, man.
From what I'm trying to say, as a prime example, we were beating the Dolphins 31-13. They came back and they almost won the game.
Yeah.
You're telling me we could not bury this team last year? Just different things like that just shows me it doesn't seem like they understand what they're going to do at this point.
It's
It's
just
frustrating.
you're right. You're right. I mean, Andy's got to get over that part of it too. I mean, I understand his level
we
of
have
respect.
to have respect.
Yeah.
There's level of respect, but Bill Belichick just put 50 up on the Bills, if we're just being honest. Not the Jets.
The Jets.
Sometimes you're just gonna have to bury your team to practice stuff. You gotta make yourself better, just as you have to make yourself better as well.
You do, and that's not making us any better by allowing teams to come back on us at the end. You know, the trash touchdowns, and
it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
No.
And that I feel like that bend don't break defense philosophy has still kind of stuck with the Chiefs in a way. I mean, it kind of went away in 2019 with the defense, but it seems like the attitude is kind of here, so we can stop them.
Well, that came from a certain.
What Brett Veach should have did is got players that can help. He overreacted too much with the offensive line. You don't have to put that much into it. We need linebackers. I would say, however, I'm more happy with our position now with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, the way they played. We need edge rushers. We haven't really had one since Tamba Hali and Justin Houston. Frank Clark was here for a one-year wonder and was disappeared. That's pretty much what we're looking at right now. It's like there was no reason for them not to try to target someone. I like the Josh Gordon move, but we haven't utilized him, so that's cap right there. That's being eaten up. If the Chiefs want to come back and get them to the playoffs, they gotta have a come to Jesus meeting. And if they can somehow do that and somehow show up in the playoffs, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm gonna say this: I have a feeling that the Chargers will end up winning the division, but the Chiefs will somehow make it. And if the Chiefs can get into the playoffs and play well, I have a good feeling they will end up playing the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. This is my personal opinion because I'm not done with my team, but I'm saying at this point, you're here, the Chargers are here. So that's just showing you right now that you're going to have to make up some ground, or you're going to have to win the next 7 games of your division, or it's going to be a long season because these teams are not going to lay down for you. As we've seen, the Broncos aren't it. We told you guys after 3 weeks, like, yeah, they're going to win these 3 games. The Raiders are playing pretty well, surprisingly, still doing their thing. I think they're going to falter, but the Chargers are the team that took the next step up and are pushing and know what they're doing.
Well, they got their asses kicked last week, but I mean that it is what it is. I mean,
Lamar and them got their behind kicked this week, so it's any given Sunday.
Yeah.
But what from I'm seeing is that they're not out of it, but they've lost to 4 teams that are probably going to win the division.
Yeah,
that's not good. That's similar to what Tom Brady had whenever they were in the 2019 season.
Yeah,
they had their division lead and they am losing a game to the Dolphins, and that ended up putting them to like playing a wild card weekend. I mean, we're in this potential area right now. So be prepared for 3-4 games.
The only good thing that we've got going for us right now is it seems like all these teams that are, these potential division winners keep losing, and every time they lose a game, it just keeps us in the hunt. And
Mhm.
that's always a good thing. I mean, we're right now, I think we're 2 games back behind each one of those guys right now. So
Mhm.
maybe 3 behind one of them, but um, we can come back from this. We just have to get
Oh, we can.
we
We
got to get
most
the
definitely
person.
can.
Yeah, we just got to get the personnel straight and get this stuff going. And Mahomes has got to be let out of his bubble and they got to get Gordon out on the field and let him do his thing. He's more talented than anybody gives him credit for. And I don't know why he's not out there. I really don't. I don't get it. I'm pissed that he's not out there. In fact, uh, he showed that he could actually play in this offense. I mean, his first play was a play that wasn't designed for him, but he made himself open for Mahomes to make a great a great reception. So why we brought him in, I don't know, because we're still using Robinson. We still got Pringle did a good job today. He went up and made a great grab.
Mhm.
I don't know, Robinson, he's hit or miss again.
He's still tap dancing though, running back and
I
forth,
know,
man. I mean,
I know.
you know what I'm saying? He's doing, you know what, how not Deion Sanders, Dante Ho, he'd be like moving around his feet, tap
Yeah, but
dancing, moving too
Dante had
fast.
the speed.
Dante, no, but it seems like Pringle is doing that. It's just not working. It's
No.
just not working.
No, it's not. So it's just got to change. It's got to change quickly. I mean, this is we're at the end of the ropes. I mean, we really are. We don't have time to play games anymore. It's time to make changes, and the change actually should have come 2-3 weeks ago. But
Yeah, I don't. At this point, if they want to figure it out, they are gonna have to have a come to Jesus meeting, figure out what's gonna happen, bring in some new players. At this point, I don't see that anyone's gonna really want to come here. I mean, we wanted Whitley Merciless, but what really could he have done during this game? I know people wanted, excuse me, a couple players from the Cowboys. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
I think what it comes down to in the day, man, is these people got to band together and figure it out. I've always been a Chiefs fan. I always like them, but it's just I'm not one to bash the team, but I'm not one to bash the team, but I will speak my in a appropriate standing, because from what I've seen, this is just frustrating. I know the players felt it. And JP, you know something about me, man. Before you came on with us, bro, what was something that we were always as an organization? What was something that I and the guys I was running with originally, what would we always do?
just straight up, I mean, everybody was just honest. I mean, honest.
Yeah, we were always player friendly because we
Player
understood
friendly,
what they were
yeah.
going through.
Player friendly. I mean, because I mean, yeah, I mean, and that's why, that's one of the things that drew me to Chiefs Focus as well, is that because I was in that same position. I've always been player friendly. I've known a lot of players and I knew what they went through. I was out on the field with those guys and watched them. I listened to what the coaches said. I listened to jack off GM say things to them, and it was like, I understood what these players went through, and that's what drew me to Chiefs Focus, and so now we're together on this whole thing, and it's like, it's a good thing, and we need to make sure that God.
I mean,
Just,
I'm not gonna bash a player, but I will say how I see it.
yeah,
From
exactly.
what I've seen. But I
Yeah.
will always say this. We don't know what they're going through, but they have to figure it out as a team. That's one thing I'm confident that Mahomes and Tyron and Chris Jones can bring this team together at this point.
I think so too.
I really do.
I do, and I think that you're going to see some changes coming, and hopefully more I'm hearing comes to fruition and it happens. But I can't see it not happening, to be honest with you. It has to happen. I mean, there's no two ways around it. There's a couple of issues that are going on that have to be alleviated. And once that happens, then I think things will turn around. Mahomes is in a slump. He's mentally in a slump. And I think
It's just as a team, they're not playing well.
the team's not playing well. He's stuck in a position he doesn't want to be in, and he's not comfortable in, I should say. And he knows it. He broke it free last week. He played straight up the way he normally plays against every team. It doesn't matter if they're a winning record team or not. And he did very well in that second half of that Washington game because he played his game. And then right back to it again this week, where he was trap stuck, mentally out of it because he's seen the writing on the wall right off the bat. And it was like, like I told that guy on Twitter today, everything filters down. And at some point, it mentally affects you. And
Mm.
when you know that you're struggling, some of your offensive guys are struggling, and then you're kind of trapped in your own little bubble. You can't fix everything the way you used to be able to. Your defense isn't really helping, not because of so much the players as it is the scheme.
Mhm.
Then your mindset goes downhill. And I can see it in
Okay.
Kelsey's face. I can see it in his face. I've never seen Mahomes look defeated. I've seen
Mhm.
it.
It's like
The
everything he does is just not enough.
Yeah. And
And
this year I've
it's
seen it on
heartbreaking
his
to
face.
see.
Yeah, I've seen it on his face more this year than I've ever seen it. And it's depressing. It's horrible to see. I don't want to see him look like that. I don't want it to affect him long term. And I don't think it will. He's too much of a he's very headstrong and he's very competitive. And I think he will figure it out on his own. But I do believe that he needs, just like everyone in this world, needs help to figure it out. And it's not going to happen with headstrong, egotistical personnel. I'll put it that way. That's all I got to say about that part of it.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's
And
it's
I'll leave it at
frustrating to
that.
see. And I think this is the first time we've kind of had our breaking point. Well, me probably first time more really, because you just speak it.
Yeah.
But I think this just kind of showed us is like, look, there's nothing we can do. But these are issues, and it's just frustrating because we've been saying this for a long time, and I'm pretty sure the listeners know what we're talking about because we've been writing about so many different things on our show, also tweeting it. So just to see stuff like this happen, it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is very, very frustrating to see. So,
Well, let's get to these questions, bro, because I'm
all
sure
right.
we got a plethora of questions.
Oh, got quite a bit. The first one is from Kevin Mock. I'm not for sure if this is a question, but let me just read through it. I'm looking at I'm not for sure, man. He got to divide it into two tweets. So I think he really just telling us, I'm looking at the offseason right now and looking at our schedule. We're not going to be playoff bound. So can we restructure Mahomes' contract and blow up the entire structure? Keeping our cornerstone to get rid of his bags. He's like, he's DC like the Giants last few years. I think the DS turned a corner game. They just got outplayed on the play count. Do you think too much money is tied to Mahomes is the reason why we couldn't capitalize on the recent free agents? All right, Kevin, thank you for the question. You kind of have a lot in that, but I will figure it out for you, man. When you first look at it, I think this team can still somehow make the playoffs. They're probably gonna make it as like the 7th seed, 6th, 7th seed. There's no way they're gonna win division unless the Chargers just have a bunch of injuries. Mahomes' contract is able to be moved around lucratively. It's a contract that can move around year to year if necessary. When it comes down to it, I think what's going to end up happening is that he might restructure, but at this point, we as fans thought we're going to get free agents and we're just not getting them. And I think that's just due to the money situation we're in right now. Right now, Veach is trying to juggle a bunch of different contracts, trying to make sure stuff is extended for certain periods of time. And he's also trying to figure out where we're going to be at next year with the cap. So I don't think the Mahomes is really going to restructure. It's possible, but I think what we should do is just sit back and wait because there were 7 games this season, but there are still 9 games left, I believe. I think it's about like 9 games left in this season. So we can see what's going to happen. So I'm not worried. But I think when it comes down to it is that they're going to try to bring some free agents if possible. But to answer your next part of the question, I think Spags might need to go, especially after the season, if it continues to get worse than this. And we're already at pretty low rock bottom right now.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with Mahomes' contract. I mean, his contract was team friendly as well as player friendly, but more team friendly. And it can be moved around for 10 years, nine to the 10 years, actually. And there's an option to move it even deeper than that. So it really has nothing to do with his contract at all. And that's not, I mean, really, there's teams out there that have, a dollar left in their cap space right now. So it's really not a matter of that. We have roughly $10 million, I think it is, in our cap right now. And we can easily extend that right now if need be. We, 2 years ago, we were the team that everybody wanted to play for. right now.
JP, I'm gonna be sorry, JP.
Huh?
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I feel like we never got that as a Chiefs, like Tom Brady got with that with the Patriots.
We did
I
for a
feel
while.
like we. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest.